When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
For picture, first positions, everyone, yo, go!
And action! Hello and welcome to episode 353 of the Filmmakers podcast. This is a podcast where we talk filmmaking, from indie film to studio films and everything in between. How to get them made, how to make them, and how to try not to F it up, in our very, very humble opinion. I am Giles Alderson. I'm a writer, director, and a producer. And on today's show, I'm delighted to tell you we have the director Jane Gull and the producer Karen Newman. They've joined myself and Dom Lenoir to sit and talk about their brand new film, Love Without Walls. This is the epitome of making an indie film, of going out there and doing it against so many odds and getting it done. Be inspired by this week's episode and go out there and do the same yourselves, because you can do it. On the episode with Jane Gull and Karen Newman, myself and Dom chatted to them about their recently finished Q&A cinema tour of the film. They give you so many tricks and tips about how you can do that as well with your feature. And we talk about the distribution deal with Bulldog and how that came about and how they got it. We also dive deep into why Jane wrote Love Without Walls and why networking is vitally important, even if you don't want to go. We talk about raising funds, dealing with a huge cast on this movie, and many, many locations that you've got to deal with while making an indie film. We talk about issues on set and challenges and how they overcame them. Jane talks about directing, improvisation versus naturalism, her shot lists, and her scrapbook. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jane made an amazing scrapbook. And Karen Newman talks about producing and why, as a producer, you have to keep some things away from the director. We also talk about working as a team, as an amazing team in this case, and trust, editing over Zoom, deliverables, some top tips there, and some amazing advice. So Jane Gull acted in many films and short films before directing and writing and producing her own short films before she made her debut movie, My Feral Heart, which came out a couple of years ago. Karen Newman also made lots of shorts. She starred in some of them as well, before producing the feature film Just Charlie, which was directed by Rebecca Fortune. And after making many more shorts, together they have gone on to make Love Without Walls. Love Without Walls is a beautiful, beautiful drama romance story with incredible music. The story is about a young married couple played by Niall McNamee and Shana Swash, who struggle when they're suddenly made homeless. It's an emotionally charged British drama, and it tells a story about love attempting to survive in the face of adversity. Cinematography was by Suzanne Salavati, cast by Ben Cogan, production design by Alessandra De Palma, and edited by Benjamin Gerstein and Aideen Johnston. Rounding out the cast is Sheila Reid, Paul Barber, Darren Kent, who sadly passed away very recently, rest in peace Darren, Adam Deacon, Ricky Hartnett, Connie Jenkins-Greig, Amy Malloy, and Sally Collette, among so many other amazing actors in there as well. And the movie is out now on Amazon Prime and various other places as well. Links to where you can watch this movie are in the show notes. And that's all coming up for you on this week's episode of the Filmmakers podcast. We've got some amazing episodes coming up for you very soon, including Red, White and Royal Blues director Matthew Lopez and The Strays, which is amazing new dog comedy with talking dogs starring Will Ferrell. That's coming out very soon, as well as Oliver Krimpas, whose film Around the Sun is released in Australia in cinemas now. For all our amazing listeners in Australia, please go seek this movie out, Around the Sun. It's in cinemas now. And Oliver will be on a future episode of the Filmmakers podcast. Speaking of cinema releases, Boland Shoes, Terry Dwyer and Ian Poulston Davis's latest feature film, will be out a month from today in cinemas on the 15th of September. The film stars Timothy Spall and the fantastic Leanne Best. More on Boland Shoes coming up in a future episode. Other shout-outs go to Joseph Naman, Robbie Martin, Pete Hunt, Caroline Steiner, and of course the Writers Guild of America, all our amazing writers who are striking right now. Our thoughts, prayers and love is with you. And also the SAG strike. Come on, keep fighting for what you deserve and what you believe in. Right, let's get to it. This is myself, Giles Alderson, and Dom Lenoir chatting with the rather brilliant Jane Gull and the superb Karen Newman. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this masterclass and making an amazing indie film. Enjoy. Hello.
Hi, Giles.
Hello, we got Dom here as well.
Hello.
Hello.
Thought we'd get into the nitty gritty of making this movie, and really get in there to help other filmmakers and go from there. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So weird hearing your voice, but you would probably always people say that to you because I listen to you every Tuesday morning when I'm walking.
No way. Oh, that's really cool. Thank you very much.
The Post-it notes have arrived. Did they just teleport in?
They're fantastic. Is that from the film?
Here's some I made earlier.
No, they're my any random thoughts or ideas I have. I just chuck them on a Post-it and shove them up.
But there was one that did exist like that for the film.
Yeah, there was one. Yeah, I've always got. I know it's like a serial killer's.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I always have, like, when in the office time when I'm ready to shoot, I just like have full. I love the Post-it notes and thoughts, and I think it's really important, right?
Post-it notes without walls.
Post-it notes without walls.
Well,
That doesn't actually make any sense.
You were going to do one of your little.
It's doing some belters recently. It has. But anyway, so welcome to the Filmmakers podcast, both of you. Thank you so much for joining us, Karen and Jane.
Thank you for having us.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, real pleasure, real pleasure. What a wonderful movie this is. Love Without Walls.
Yeah, real indie gem, like real indie gem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Real joy to watch, and I'm so glad it's been doing really well on the circuit. And how's that been at the moment? Sort of, doing you tour around and doing cinemas and getting that feedback direct from.
Well, we've come to the end of it now, haven't we?
Yeah.
I say thankfully because it was a lot of miles on the M1 and a lot of chugging around, visiting small parts of the world that we'd never heard of.
Not a great motorway.
No, not a great motorway.
And Karen was doing all the driving. I don't drive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're still talking to each other though, so it's all good.
Congratulations. For that.
It was good. It was, it was really good to see it with live audiences. I know everybody says that, but to see your film actually and to see the actual immediate response from people, especially in contrast to reviews, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a minute. It was just nice to see an actual real person reaction and to see it genuinely.
Definitely. And I think for me, just having those discussions and conversations about the themes and the topics was really important, and just how different it was in different parts of the country.
Find a massive difference on cinema runs between like just how things are received, the way that locals kind of react, whether they're kind of shouting with joy or whether they're like really silent. It massively differs, like where you're screening. It gives you a great sort of perspective of different ways that people interpret your film, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that was really interesting to see that.
What did you learn from doing it then, from doing a Q&A tour of the film for next time? Was there anything you saw in there that with not just with the film, but also doing the tour in terms of what you learned from it and any mistakes type thing you made or things that worked really well?
I think when you're up north, stay up north, do up north, and then come down south. We had a bit of, and it was really well organised. I think Rebecca did a brilliant job. But we did find ourselves sometimes up north and coming down and then going up again. And it was like, oh Christ, we were like 2 miles away from that other venue. We could have done that the same day or something.
Yeah.
So that I think was a big kind of learning curve.
Yeah, I think maybe doing less, but not less screenings, but maybe less Q&As.
Yeah.
And focusing more on the outreach in the different areas beforehand. I think we really tried to do that, didn't we? Because it was just the two of us doing it. I think if you had a whole sort of team behind you, sort of going to each area and targeting the sort of niche groups or the different organisations and charities, maybe, that would be really helpful.
What did you find that worked on the tour to get audiences in? Because it is hard, you know, it is independent, and obviously some cinemas will put the poster up, but not everyone will see it. What did you find worked? Did you do press interviews, radio, which can be tricky? What did you find worked for getting bums on seats?
We did do some radio. We had some funny radio experiences. So we were driving up to, it was Alnwick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we just suddenly it was like a 7-hour drive up the M1. And Jane was like, well, while you're driving, I'm going to like Google radio stations and see what we can get.
Perfect.
So as you
just like our one.
Yeah.
Yes, like
and you did. You got a response from this station in Alnwick. And I honestly, we were basically the hit of the morning. He kept us on the entire show.
2 hours.
Wow.
But at one point, I was texting my dad, going, "Can you tune in?" And I think my dad doubled his listeners.
And then another, when we were going up to Halifax, had done the same thing, and we found this wonderful radio station called the Breakfast Radio Show. I can't recommend him enough, and we ended up going on there. Not only that, we didn't have a host for our Q&A, so we were like, "Oh, can you come and be the host for our Q&A?" And now he's such a champion of our film. Phil shouts about it on his radio show, and he goes out to like 700,000 listeners.
Wow. And that kind of thing makes such a difference for independent film, because those people who couldn't make it to the cinema will go, well, I want to watch it. And he'll go, oh, well, it's on digital now. You can buy it on Amazon. You can watch this movie, and people will go watch it, especially if he keeps championing it. So well done. That's great. Yeah. Really good. Very good.
We printed leaflets off as well, like little kind of fly.
Oh, okay.
We'd kind of, everywhere we stayed or every pub we visited en route, we'd be like, you know, surreptitiously shoving them into their leaflet stacks. And
we found that really, and because everything's obviously online now, but there are a lot of people, especially in some of those areas where it was like with the older generation, they want something physical. And we were, you know, putting the flyers around, and I think it, you know, people can keep it. And there's quite a few people now that don't do social media. So
yes, and they want physical, like flyer in the hand. Like you're in Edinburgh Fringe, and it's like, oh, thanks, oh, this looks good, oh, we could do that tonight, and that's really nice. Okay, good. So you kind of walk around with the flyers and just handed them out.
Yeah,
I always carry them now when I'm on my dog walks. I have them, and
I love it even now. It's great.
My dad has a second-hand record shop, and I say to him every time someone buys a record, pop a flyer in their bag. And
that's great.
Cheeky.
Yeah. I'm making it my mission now to try and see an independent film, you know, at least twice a month in an independent cinema, because they've been really great to us, and I really want to
pay it back.
Was Bulldog behind that as well? Because obviously they're your distributor, Bulldog Film.
Yeah.
Were they championing you as well, doing the Q&A tour? Actually, you know, because obviously they're putting it out as a digital. Were they really going, yeah, great, go ahead and do it?
Yeah, they were really great, actually, really supportive. They publicised every Q&A we were doing, and I think
came along.
They even came along. Yeah, they came along to the Lexi to watch it themselves. And they were big champions, and I think we felt really fortunate actually to be working with them while we were doing the theatrical, and then knowing that they were handling all of home entertainment.
Oh, that's really great.
And at what point did they join the project? Like, how did you sort of get in contact with Bulldog? What was it that led you to that decision to sort of join them?
I've been kind of stalking them for a while, actually. I always think they're great. They're great independent British distributor, and they've been going a long time. They've got a good track record, and over the years I've always kind of tried to meet up, and I know they've changed sort of ownership now a little bit. And then we sent the film to Phil, and he loved it. He said, oh, it's brilliant, but you know, my slate's really full, and I don't know. And it was always umming and ahhing, and so it was kind of a no. And I don't know what happened one night. I think I'd had a few glasses of wine. I thought, you know what? This is it. And I wrote this email, which I sent to you.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I'm going to paraphrase, obviously, but I basically said, this film's brilliant. Jane Gull was the next big thing. If you don't take this film, you might be missing out on something amazing. Therefore, you should really take another look.
Yes.
And I sent it and thought, crap.
Nothing to
What
lose.
have I done? What have I done? I can't get it back. And then the next day or the day after, I got this email from him saying, "Okay, that's interesting, Karen. Let's talk." So we had this Zoom with him, and by the end of the Zoom, he was like, "Right, okay, let's do it." And it was like, "Oh my god,
That's amazing.
That is wonderful. Love that.
There are these moments, aren't there, in in the film world where, because there's always that sort of moment of imposter syndrome, or is my film good enough, etc., etc. There's moments when you have to back yourself harder than you would naturally feel comfortable, and it cannot work. But if you don't try, you'll never get anywhere. And sometimes they're waiting for you to back yourself. For them to be like, well, actually, these guys, maybe they're right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're so convinced that they're right. Maybe we're missing something. Maybe we actually really are missing something. And as it turned out, they were, and they've taken it. So
yeah, and they're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, they are lovely, and they're really champion indie films. And it's been brilliant to see the success of this film and to see the sort of vibe around it build, and everyone go, "No, this is a great film." And I think that's lovely, and it's down to you two, but it's also down to the people you bring in as well. The whole team seems fantastic on this. The cast are incredible. You really seem to work hard to get the right people around you to make this film look. It's really high end.
Yeah, the cinematography is like it's very high end indie. It kind of, I was almost thinking like I'm watching like Begin Again or Once, or but actually even more sort of just polish. It was really like immersive into the characters and the acting.
Yeah, Susan Salavati, wasn't it, who was your cinematographer, and just really brilliant. Beautiful. Well, let's jump back a little bit, and we'll come back into to making it, of how you two met and how this film came about, because Love Without Walls is fantastic, but it doesn't get there without hard work and graft from the beginning. So, Jane, you wrote it. Did the idea come first? Did you two meet after that? Talk us through it.
Yeah, so I wrote the first draft in 2011.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, a long time ago. And initially, I'd made my short film called Sunny Boy, which was doing quite well. And then at the time, there was the Microwave Film Fund.
Yes, I remember it.
Oh, yeah.
150 grand. Yeah, but you had to come up with 50 grand yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
So cheers for that.
I initially wrote the first draft of this and applied for that. And we didn't get it accepted. So I didn't really do anything more with it. Well, I didn't do anything with it. I kind of put it away.
Yeah.
And then got it back out in 2019, I think it was.
Had you already made anything else before then, your shorts? Was it a case of you just dusting off things that you wanted to make? Because that's always interesting, I think, with scripts. It's like, I've got loads that I've written in the past, and sometimes they just come back to the front and you go, oh my gosh, yeah, that one, of course. Let me read. Oh, it's all right. It's not bad, needs a polish, but let's have a go. Was it kind of similar here? Were you looking to go, I need to get back on and make this?
Yeah, I think it was always something I wanted to relook at, but then I got waylaid with doing made My Feral Heart.
Yeah, of course.
Made quite a few shorts and doing different things. So initially, when I first wrote the first draft in 2011, I wrote it because it was an accumulation of a lot of things and a lot of people that I was working with at the time. I was working on a project in a hostel. With people who were homeless. And then there was some influences from my own stuff and lots of different things. But what happened in end of 2019, I laugh because Karen's heard this story lots of times, but I know
many a Q&A.
I haven't heard it.
Yes. You can correct her if she gets it wrong, it's fine.
So at the time, the estate where I had been living in Camden was being bulldozed. It was being demolished.
Okay.
And I was furious about this, so angry. And I'd moved, and the block of flats where I was living had been demolished. And I remember walking up Tottenham Court Road and just seeing so many people rough sleeping outside Habitat, of all places. And was just really enraged about it all. And that's kind of kick-started getting this back out. I just thought, I really need to get that back out and channel my anger into something constructive. There's stuff I want to say and nobody's listening to me. And that's where it all came from, really. And then Karen and I were working on it.
When did we meet? What year?
So we met
2018.
Oh, it's about today, 5 years ago.
It's our anniversary today.
Congratulations.
Happy anniversary.
Oh,
We
that's
met
beautiful.
at Ian Sharp's summer
Oh, did you?
party.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Revolution party. Yes.
Yeah,
I was
5
there.
Ah.
I was
5
there.
years ago.
I was there at that party. Yeah.
Oh,
I was there.
no offense, Ian. We love you and we love your parties, but neither of us actually wanted to go. You know how networking can sometimes
Yes.
just be too much. And you
Yeah,
just can't be
sometimes.
bothered.
Yeah.
So my husband said to me, just go along, have one drink, speak to one person, come home. I was like, all right then. And then Jane's husband apparently had said the same thing to her. And we were as one person with a lot more drinks than just the one. But yeah,
Right,
that's how we met.
And we kind of got
Beautiful.
bonded over dogs, really, because I just got a
Yeah.
puppy, and I was like, I can't stay too long.
Yeah.
I've got to get back for the puppy. And then Karen was telling me about her puppy tales. So that's kind of how we bonded.
That's how you ended up on Bulldog as well.
I know.
Yeah, I
That was
No, I mean, it's not. There's no irony there.
No. Right.
So when you two met, like, and what was the process in getting the script, sort of, discussing the story, and what was maybe the collaboration? I mean, was there much of a rewrite? Were you happy with the script when you read it, or did you kind of tweak it a little bit and as things built?
Well, initially we were working on another project.
Yeah, which we fell apart because of COVID. All the money kind of disappeared, and we couldn't have shot it anyway. It wasn't very un-COVID friendly. So I think we were just moaning one day. This is my story now that I tell at Q&As. we were moaning in my garden, drinking wine again. Seems to be a common theme there, Jane. And just sort of talking about, oh God, what we're going to do. And you were just about to leave, and you got the script out of your bag and shoved it across the table and went, "Oh, just thought I'd bring you this to read. Bye." And I was like, "Oh, okay, bye, Jane. See ya."
See ya. I'm busy.
That was Lovely Without Walls, and I remember reading it, and you'd said about music, and I just thought it's just so brilliant, and so of the times as well. It was so current, and I could see, and sadly, it's going to be a film that's current for quite some time because it's about society and cost of living, etc. And it's
becoming more current. Yeah.
Really becoming more current, and that's sad. It was current when you wrote it in 2011, and it's current now.
Yeah, I mean, I changed when I've done the rewrite in 2019. There were elements that I'd added that were more, I think, stuff about the knowledge, just to give it that other layer, and that was really nice. Adding things like about the cashless society.
It's still weird. It is weird.
Yeah. When we were going around the country, we were always saying, trying to pay
by cash.
Yeah.
Just on purpose to do that.
Yeah.
But also you're right, to give to homeless people who want cash. You can't give, you haven't got change in your pocket. And in fact, we don't anymore. And that's a sad thing. It's almost like worth keeping a couple of £pounds in your pocket for those moments, or £5 or whatever, if you can give for those people. They've fallen on hard times. They don't have
access to card machines.
No, exactly. Yeah. So great. So you two met then, and then the script came across you, and you felt at that point it was strong enough to go, cool, let's make it, even though you were working on something else, and that fell down. So after that fell down, you were like, right, let's crack on with Love Without Walls. Talk us through how that process happened. Was it just a day when you both went, let's make it? How do we do it? And how did you do it?
Oh gosh.
We worked our
crikey.
Oh my goodness.
You can look back at it with like rose tinted spectacles, can't you? And the beauty, and go, it was but it was really bloody hard work. It was COVID as well. We were still in lockdown. So every time lockdown kind of tried to lift, we thought, right, we've got an opportunity. And then it came back again. And it was all a bit of a nightmare. But you'd already decided Shana was your leading lady, wasn't it?
Yeah, because when I'd done the rewrite, I just thought of Shana and wrote it with her in mind, really. But initially Karen was like, oh yeah, this is what I said to you, didn't I? Well, it's just a two-hander and it's outside, but there's actually like 70 speaking parts.
Yeah, there's like 72 people in it, Jane. And Jane was like, it's just a two-hander. It won't be expensive.
72-hander.
On 45 locations.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's actually a very ambitious indie.
Very ambitious.
Very ambitious. And we made it on the least amount of money we possibly could. It was one of those, let's just see what we've got, let's see what we can do and go for it and see how far that can stretch.
So how did you kind of go about budgeting it and looking at the cast? Did you always know that it was going to be an indie? Like how did you sort of put together that figure?
Oh, well, I started with the budget that was, nice and comfortable when everybody got a nice chunk and all of that, lovely days. And then that didn't happen. So it slid down a little bit. And then it was a case of you do that budget, that what is the least amount of money we can do this. So we kind of settled at that and thought, right, if we can get that, we can do this film. And we got most of it as we were about to start production. And it was like, well, let's just get it. Let's just start. And by the time we'd finished, we managed to get the rest of it. So it was constantly juggling and, trying to find those people that were going to put a little bit of extra money in. And then 45 locations.
Yes, to work out. Well, let's kick out, if you don't mind, let's talk about the money first, because it's so important to how you finance an indie film and how you do it. What was your process to do that? Were you going to private equity investors? Were you going to friends, family? I don't think you did a crowdfunder for this, as far as I'm aware.
It was all private equity.
Equity, okay.
And tax credits and all that sort of stuff.
Of course.
And a tiny little bit of a loan. But no, I was quite lucky that my previous film, Just Charlie, a couple of the investors to that really liked. Well, one of them, actually a new person, just loved the fact Jane's first film, Loved My Feral Heart. I was like, anything Jane does, I'm in. I was like, okay, well, that was easy.
Perfect. Sign here. Here's the bank details.
That was phone call number one. This is easy. I can raise the money for this. And then the others were like, oh no, actually, we're going to come again and help you out and support you. And it was trying to find new people. We went everywhere.
Remember some of the letters I was writing to people.
I remember those when you start writing.
Did you get my letter?
Cold call.
I got
emails,
your letter, Jane. No, when I was doing the same to people, I was literally writing, asking for. It was like, what do you do? It was I hadn't thought about it properly. I was too inexperienced. But you now, both of you are experienced. You both made features, so you're in a much better place. But when I was originally doing it, I had no idea. Just writing random letters. Hey, give me some money. I'm a filmmaker. It's like crazy.
It was. I don't know whether it was because it was locked down as well, but it was like It was like I was. Possessed. Like literally, I'd be waking up in the middle of the night, and you would be up. I could see you were up, and we'd be like calling each other at 6 o'clock in the morning. What about this idea? What about this idea? I remember writing to. I mean, it was
insane.
It was insane.
What did you say in those emails and those letters that you wrote? What were you saying? What were you asking for?
It was just
give me some money.
The money.
No.
If you value your kneecaps, etc.
I mean, we
didn't try that. Maybe we should have done. Could have
probably
done
best
the budget.
Try on the next one.
It was quite crazy, wasn't it? And just the stopping and the starting. Will this ever go ahead? And then, of course, there were people that would come on, and there were a couple of people that really sort of came on board and helped us in different ways. Which was really lovely, like Sally.
I suppose when you're putting together an indie, you're not only asking for the amount of money, but you're kind of asking all the cast and the crew to invest in maybe working for less than they usually work for, or taking a punt on someone that they're not sort of as aware of. How much of that team did you start to sort of put together, and how much of the locations did you try and sort of put together, as well as doing all the finance raising at that point?
Well, COVID was difficult, but it was also really helpful because you could say, I have to have a small crew. You can't have assistant to your assistant to your assistant. And people kind of understood that, even though there was still a bit of a demand of why can't I have an assistant? I was like, well, no, you can't. We're all in this together. It has to be small because of COVID, and people understood that. And cast as well, they were brilliant. I mean, a lot of them. I mean, you said it was like 72 people, but a lot of the cast came in for one day. So once they were clear of COVID, they'd come in, they'd do their job, they'd go home. So the core team. It felt like a little family because it was most the same people every day, and then these kind of guests coming in.
I think the locations played a huge part, and once we had Ghana, and then we'd found Nile. The locations were actually probably the first thing we looked at, weren't they? Because we thought that we need to nail those down, and they need to be all within a close proximity. And I think a lot of the people that let us use their buildings or venues did so because they weren't being used because of COVID, and they were really kind, and I think that really helped all the people that So a huge thank you to everybody.
Did you offer them sort of marketing, or was it really the story and the people that you were sort of trying to sell to the venues as well as the location fees?
Some of it was marketing. Some of it was like, look, you're going to be in the credits, all that sort of stuff. We're going to do socials. Some we paid. We didn't obviously pay full whack. People were doing kind of favors for us. And then, well, I hope you don't mind me saying, but quite a lot of the locations are actually Jane's house, but in different sort of scenarios.
Wow.
The room we're in at the moment.
All 45 rooms.
Yeah. Some of them doubled up.
Some of them doubled up.
That's wonderful. That's clever, creative filmmaking. Go, well, let's just switch it around. Let's just make it work.
We used every single room in my house, apart from the bathroom. We used the garage, the front garden, the back garden. My neighbours were involved.
I didn't notice that, and that's a big compliment, because I genuinely watch a lot of indies, and you do feel like it's like one location, or it's a very micro area. Never got that feeling at all watching this. So it did have a sort of expansive roaming feel.
Yeah, Alessandra De Palma was your production designer, right? So I imagine between you and her, that just did a fantastic job to pull the wool over our eyes. You know, not only did it really did look fantastic, this film. It's true. We're just like, okay, this is great. It's really good. And the heart and the emotion that comes with that as well, with the story and the performances are just fantastic. What was the thing that worked the best when you were asking for money or for a location, or what was the thing that you went, that did work? You know, because obviously there's so many no's and so many people sort of go, I might do. But what was the thing that tipped something over the edge for you?
I think it was just trying to work out what would make somebody put the money in. So some people, they just looked at the figures. They just wanted to see an investment pack with the numbers, what they might get back, sales figures, all that sort of stuff, even though we all know sales figures don't really mean anything anymore. But they wanted to see that security. And then others were just people that quite literally just want to talk about the film and go out to dinner and say, hey, look, my name's on the credits and I did this, I did that, or I appear in this and this is my shop, or all that sort of stuff. So that really helps. It was just trying to work out the psychology behind what somebody's interest might be. And some people have no interest in the film at all. It was just about money. And others were like, oh no, actually we really like this. We want to see the story. The story resonates with us. It's heartbreaking. It's this, it's that. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's great, because it can be so, that's the tricky bit, understanding what the investor wants out of this. And once you know, it's like, okay, now I can target to that. I can make it really easy for you. You want to come on set, you want to come to the premieres, great. I can do all that for you. I can make it shiny and look brilliant. And other people just, that, you know, they want to know the business and the numbers, and they're doing it for, hey, hopefully get a return out of this. And you've got to provide all that. You've got to set it up with exactly how much someone's hopefully going to make back, the whole waterfall where their money comes back. That's, as long as they can see that, I always find that works well. They can see that you're not just going, hey, put some money into a film, let's see what happens. You're showing the plan and the waterfall and how they get that return of investment back.
But also being really honest about the fact they might not get it back.
Yes, you have to.
I think that's the sad truth, is that people put money into film and it's great, but independent films, they struggle. And I think especially at the moment, our cinema and the way we view things is not set up for the independent filmmaker at all. It's all these big blockbusters in the cinema, and then, you know, people are trying to put their films online, they're not recouping the money. And it's just saying, look, we're going to do our utmost best. This is our plan. This is what we're going to do. These things might happen. These things might not. I'm going to do everything I can to return your money, and hopefully with a profit. But, you know, please don't sue me if it doesn't happen, kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. As long as you put that in writing and put that in your deck or your information memorandum or whatever you give them to say, hey, look, you're signing this away, this might not make any money, then it's fine. They accept it. And you hope that these people have that as disposable income anyway. That's, you know, that's why they usually H&Is.
Yeah. And how did you go about sort of putting the schedule together with so many locations, and obviously trying to find the balance between, you know, getting the most out you can out of the budget, but also sort of, you know, keeping it tight and
a whiteboard.
We did it old school.
Yeah.
So
okay,
Post-it notes. Yeah.
It was
yeah. That's the schedule right there.
Well, it was on Jane's whiteboard, and it was a strip board of post-it notes, which we moved around. Went, that's not going to work. We're going to do that before that. And then I plugged it all into Movie Magic for like crew and stuff. But it was done old school, just fiddling around, working out, oh, those 2 locations we can do that, we can walk there, we can do, and then we walked it. We did the recce, almost did like a kind of a shoot walk of walking around the locations, going, well, we can get here, this is where we park, this is what we do. And it was like a 2-man or 2-woman band, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
What were some of the most challenging parts of the shoot?
Southend night shoot, that was fun for all the wrong reasons, really. That was, I think, the night that we did a night shoot. The hotel we were staying at had kind of given us some security, but there'd been an incident by the pier or the beach, so everything had flopped down there to sort this in. I think it was a stabbing or something awful, wasn't it?
God.
And it was I think it was the world had just opened up again, hadn't it?
Yeah, so everybody was out, everybody was kind of as you can imagine, and there you are, camera crew, and your camera, and people like to do strange things in front of the camera, don't they?
It's weird, isn't it? Suddenly people think, well, hang on, you're doing that, but if we do put this out there, you look ridiculous, mate. Why?
You can't tell me what to do.
Exactly.
That famous line. Yeah.
Yes. How did it run for you, Jane, in terms of the director side of that?
I love being on set, and I think actually I found the 3 weeks on set obviously we had our issues and the normal things that happen, but I find I'm in my comfort zone there because I feel more in control. I find that easier to manage than the whole post-production and the distribution side of things. And I think it was just the weight on my shoulders of, oh my goodness, I wrote this and I'm directing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than I thought, because there was a lot of actors in it, a lot of locations.
72.
and I think because it was an independent film, and we were shooting a lot of it in my house, the thing I find most challenging on a film set is dealing with the public and the people, not in a bad way, but just like I'm always really conscious of, I don't want to like upset the neighbours. I'm worried about how people are treated. So sometimes I then feel that I can't like completely focus on my directing because I'm worried about how somebody's talking to the baker.
Yes. Yeah,
it's tricky when you're sort of conscientious, isn't it? Because you are thinking about your elderly neighbour, or what the dog walkers, or if you're making too much noise with the kids next door, and it's hard to sort of put that aside and sort of get in with the filming side of things. In terms of the actors and the performances, so how did you kind of approach them acting out the script word for word versus rehearsals, improvisation? What's your kind of balance on that side of things as a director?
It really depends on the actor.
Okay.
It depends on the individual actor. So some of the scenes are improvised if they're like playing cards, those things. A lot of people have said, is a lot of the script improvised, but actually it's not. That's a credit to the actors that it comes across so natural. A few of the actors in the film I'd worked with before, so that always helps.
Yep.
And because I've acted myself and come from an acting background, I think that really, really helps as well.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to create that sort of playfulness and just finding that balance of depending on the actor, really.
Yeah. And what about prepping then, working with Suzanne, your DOP, and getting those shots? And some of it's absolutely beautiful. How much did you plan? How much did you throw away when you got to set? What was your process?
Well, my old drama teacher used to say proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Absolutely.
So we prepare, but then we can throw it out the window. Yeah. I like to be fully prepared and then I can play.
Great.
Although I am quite good at thinking on my feet if something goes wrong, and I think just sort of improvising and making the best of a situation and embracing those magic moments. Like if there's a scene that is supposed to be shot in a certain location on a sunny day and it's peeing down with rain and you're in a different space, that's fine, go with it, because often when you get in the edit you think, actually that worked beautifully, it would have been rubbish if the sun had been out. So Susie and I have worked together on 8 projects now, and we have a particular way of working. where we sit together lately over Zoom when we were doing this, and we read the whole script together, taking on different characters. So I'll read certain characters, she'll read other characters, and we literally go through it step by step. So, and then what's wonderful about working with Susie is the fact that we both know, do you know what I mean? There's that shorthand. We've even got sign language that we use so that we can say things like, you know, keep the camera rolling even when I say cut, or all those little things, or if those magic moments when an actor's just sat there looking just beautiful and then, you know, the camera's on them. Yeah, so we do plan, but then we can throw it all away as well.
I love that. Do you storyboard, or do you draw anything? Do you do shot lists?
I have a scrapbook.
A scrapbook? Oh,
I'm so like of my generation.
Wow. Wait, what, with
very, very avant-garde,
with sellotaped images in and stuff of
sellotaped images.
Wow.
I cut the script up and stick like the dialogue down, and
That's
I have
brilliant.
that. And it's literally our second AD, Jack, was literally running around with my Bible the whole time. Saying, Jane, you've left it on the
We always, I did the same. I always leave it. Always, yeah.
Everything in there, and then I have
valuable stuff in there as well. You'd be lost without it.
And we just drop it constantly because we run to set. We run somewhere else. It's crazy, man. It's so crazy. Yeah.
Trying to find something that I can keep it on me, but I'm yet to find. I need to invent something.
Yeah, you almost need a little kangaroo pouch where you can just drop it in. You know, it's true. I'm the same.
That could be the future. I want to see that pioneered on your next one, Dom.
If you're going to invest in it, Dom, I'm in.
That's my biggest, isn't it, when he invented that the camera. So I do storyboard bits, but they wouldn't make sense to anybody else. They're just like really dodgy stickmen, but but I just do that in my scrapbook. I find unless you get on the location, it's really difficult. I love to know the locations and be in that space and physically feel it and getting there and act it out myself, just to sort of feel, you know, feel how it would be for the actors. Most of the film is handheld. One, because I love that, and it just gives it that immediacy and that way that Susie can get in and around the actors. Because to me, it's all about the performance. That's what I'm interested in, the actors, their faces, their performances. And, you know, don't want to miss a trick by having the camera locked off and then we can't get in and see their eyes.
No, I loved the immediacy of it. It was so relatable, and I love the free-flowing camera work that just followed and found, like we were observing at times. It was so nice to watch. It was so nice to be in that world. So it was a great choice to do that. Yeah.
And I often think that people, I know for some people it can be a little bit, make them feel a bit giddy watching it.
Well, it didn't feel unmotivated. I think sometimes it just feels like, well, why is the camera doing that? And you don't actually sort of switch off and get lost in the sort of the film and the story. But I don't feel you fell into that trap. It felt quite organically motivated, which was great. And then it just adds to it.
It's harder for the camera operator, and Susie was operating the camera as well, and the focus puller.
Yeah, Lauren Phyllis, right?
Yeah, we had Nacho as well.
And Nacho, right? Because she did The Stranger in Our Bed for me. And she was fantastic. Yeah. Great. And what about yourself then, Karen, on set? How do you manage the whole process? How do you sort of, because it's you, it's just, you know, and it's really hard when you're trying to pull the strings and do everything and make everything work. So how did you manage that? What worked for you and what didn't?
You mean apart from rocking backwards and forwards in a corner?
Apart from that, yes.
Lots of coffee.
We all do that and we go.
Coffee, man. I tend to over prepare as well. I try and think of anything that can go wrong from past films, from just make up worst case scenarios and try and find solutions to them. And then you find that when you go on set that everything that you thought was going to go wrong doesn't, but everything that you didn't think was going to go wrong does.
Yep.
It's always fun like that. But I think for me, it's all about making people feel that they can do their jobs, they can have fun, they can be safe, but they are trusted to do that. We've chosen them to do their job and they are trusted to do that. But also, I always say at the beginning of every shoot is that it's all my fault. So if something breaks, if that's my fault. As long as you tell me the minute it's broken, we can sort it out. Don't ever feel like it's always going to be my fault, whatever happens. And sometimes I catch myself thinking, Christ, kid, what are you doing? Everything's your fault. But it kind of is as a producer. You have to take responsibility for everything that can go wrong. That's legal, financial, everything really. I think then it's just accepting that, okay, I've got to lead. I've got to be the one that comes to set in the morning. And no matter what's going wrong, I have to have a smile on my face and I have to be positive. Because if I'm not positive, then everything slides into, disarray. Because people pick up on that energy. And also it's keeping things from Jane, not like keeping things from Jane, but things are going wrong, or I know we're trying to solve problems. It's not Jane's problem to solve something.
Yeah, you've got to insulate the creative team. Yeah, for sure.
I really appreciated that.
We actually had a bit of a chat, didn't we, on the first morning, because it was like, this is it now. I have to go and do my job and you have to go and do your job. And it's almost like goodbye, see you at the end kind of thing. It felt suddenly from being together every day and sorting out all the problems and working it all through, it was now like, no, now there's this divide. I have to do what I do and you have to do what you do. And we had a great first AD and second AD, and they would have bring in all that team and communicating to everybody what you want and the vision, and hopefully making everybody feel safe and happy. And
No, it's so interesting you say that, and it's such an interesting point, because for the producer and director in prep, they're so close. You're talking all the time. It's there. Then suddenly it changes on almost the first day of filming, maybe just the day before, to director and cinematographer and producer and everyone else. And it's such a weird thing that it's hard, I think, for producers to suddenly go, oh, hang on, what? I'm not in a gang anymore. You've got to be the leader and you've got to run the show. And it's suddenly you've got to, you've got to take responsibility and tell people off and sometimes fire people. And that's a lot of responsibility to put on someone's shoulders. Yeah. It's really difficult. And you feel quite lonely at times and quite isolated. And
it always happens. The pace is really quickly. You're jumping from, not that we did much firing, but from doing that to solving a problem and sorting the catering that hasn't arrived, and everything seems to be on this conveyor belt. Like you're kind of stop everything.
That's a killer.
Yes, you're right. You're on that conveyor belt, and if Dom's on set and you haven't got the food, he's literally climbing the walls.
It's true. It's true.
He's the one running to get it. Yeah. He's like, I'm getting it.
But sometimes it's those things like you're doing a really long day. Everyone's tired. And the food doesn't arrive. It to a normal person, it's not a big deal, but like to everyone on that set, it's absolutely crucial. And then people start getting, not thinking carefully because they're exhausted, and it's there's so many ramifications to a small thing that goes wrong on a film set.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Bring a date, your squad, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're gonna crack this case and prove we're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
You are... Gary the Snake. And your last name? The Snake.
Dream Team. New habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home.
You're clearly working it.
Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG.
What other things, Karen, for you then, like say dealing with all that can be a strain on your mental health and everything? Did you have time to process stuff? Did you have time to go, okay, let me just take a breath here? When it became overwhelming, what did you find worked for you?
I think I can't really remember, to be honest. Time didn't have time.
Amnesia.
Amnesia was the best thing.
Amnesia.
Active repression.
Yes, a lot of therapy.
Obviously, there were moments in the day when I wasn't on set, like I didn't go and bother everybody constantly, because we were filming quite locally, so I'd stay here quite often and be on the laptop sorting things from afar, and that gave me some time not to talk to people, because I think everybody's talking to you, everybody wants something, everybody needs something. If you just have 5 minutes where there's nobody in the room and you don't have to answer a question or you don't have to say anything, it's like, oh, thank God for that. So I go to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah. but also I felt really trusted by Karen. The fact that she allowed me and trusted me with to be down there doing stuff while you were doing stuff in the production office. And I think that's been from day one. I can't thank you enough for producing this film, because I think independent producers what you go through and what you do to make these films. People just haven't got a clue.
No.
I've had the
extreme
privilege
pain
to be with you on your side, helping where I can, but to see what you have done to get this film with this story from script to screen and on demand within 2 years is
it's an amazing achievement. You've both done incredibly well, but Karen,
you're a great
especially.
team together. You can see that energy between you.
You can see that, and often in these cases, the director does get the credit, as do the cast, and that's totally fine. Look, that's what we accept as producers. But the producers are the unsung heroes of all these indie films that get made, and everyone talks about the director and the cast, but no one really talks about the producers, and they're the people who are really on the ground. And Jane, in a massive way, you also, I'm sure, produced this film from helping. It sounds like everything with Karen, but on set, Karen was the person, and it's so difficult, that burden, and it definitely doesn't get the respect it deserves. And something we try and do on the Filmmakers podcast is sort of just go, hey, producers, so we love having producers on because they're the ones who get the stuff made and get things happening, and nothing could get made without it. It just wouldn't get finished. It just wouldn't. Let's talk about post a little bit then. Let's talk about...
Oh God, we have to.
Oh God, is this even more traumatic than the shoot? Please. They're both giggling their heads off now.
Well, we got through the shoot, no COVID. I thank the Lord.
Congratulations.
God.
Yeah.
No vid.
But then COVID hit during post, and I think everybody got COVID one after each other, didn't they? In the whole pipe of post. So it took a lot longer to go through the workflow than it would do normally, and it was quite frustrating because you can't say to somebody, "Oh, just do that, just do it," when they're in bed with COVID, and it was all so it's a lot of patiently waiting for things to happen.
Yeah, and it's the first time that I have ever edited over Zoom.
Yeah,
right.
With 2 editors,
Which isn't as wonderful.
No, it's not as easy.
No, it's not. But it was part of it. I actually got quite into the swing of it.
You can get used to it because you can sit at home. Well, you can't see what they're doing. You just see the screen.
we shared the screen.
Yeah, you share the screen. Yeah.
So we had the whole, so the whole time I was like there and on the other end of the computer. And as I said, we had 2 editors, which was a new experience for me, and it worked really well. But then I think, I wanted to sort of get in the room and see it on a bigger screen, because I'm just like watching it on my laptop, and that's the difference, isn't it?
And the quality is not as good either. There's a different image, especially going across all those pixels onto Zoom. It doesn't look as good, your movie. So you got through that process, which is great. And how long did it take you to get a finished film? Was there any issues within that, especially when deliverables? Because deliverables are a nightmare.
Don't like that word.
No,
I know, right? But we're here to help the filmmakers to sort of go, look, deliverables are a nightmare. Be on top of it early. Anything you learnt there that you went, I wish we'd done that earlier?
I think budget a bit more than you ever going to need for, not just for post, but for deliverables, because I mean, with streaming and cinema, and it's so, everybody wants something different, or there's so many things. And also just trying to demystify what they want. I mean, it's in a language that doesn't make any sense to me. And actually having somebody to go, oh no, that's this, that's that, we can do that. And there's standard deliverables that we did, and then there's extras that other people needed for.
And sometimes they don't even need them. That's the annoying thing. Like it's like an archaic sort of tick list, and some of it's just doesn't even make sense, and you still have to deliver it.
Yeah, French subtitles. You're like, but why?
Well, I mean, we didn't do that because exactly why. Yeah, and we only just got closed captions because of Biffa, so we've only just captioned. But Bulldog were like, look, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Don't stress yourself out.
Well, that's it with those contracts with any distributor. You can make sure you do this, filmmakers, is check what their deliverables are and question it before you sign those contracts. What do you really need here? Because this is our time and no one's getting paid here to do all these deliverables. Yeah, that will take a long time to do. So yes, it's so important.
I think the paperwork as well, like your chain of title and all of that, from the very start of the film, and put it in a folder. And I've actually got a hard copy and a digital copy of it all now. And that long time because everything happened so fast and the production was moving so quickly that it took me a while to scan everybody's contracts in, to get everything in a kind of presentable package, to be able to say, here you go, it's all here, everything you need, like music licenses and cue sheets and all that.
Copyright for everything.
Copyright for things that we never knew that we'd need.
Copyright report, that's always a classic.
And all that sort of stuff. I mean, I spent a good part of 2 days trying to chase down a map. We literally feature one page of a map. And our clearance people went, oh, no, you've got to clear that. I went, I've got to clear a 1988 A to Z. What? Page 19 or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
So I had to track down, all that process, and finally, thankfully, found the person.
Well, at least you got the tools to find them.
Yeah. Oh, he's good, isn't he? He's so good.
Oh, he is good. He is good. That's why we keep him.
Just when you think you've got everything done, then there's something else.
There's something else.
Call me and you never guess what. I'm like, what? No.
Yeah, those deliverables lists, and I think one of the important things is just get it copyrighted by the US government, like before you shoot. Get that done. And then type report and opinion after that. But get it done before you shoot, because, like I say, if you use someone's name in your film and that name suddenly is a serial killer, or that person's been arrested, God knows what it is, but now you can't use that name, or it's some superstar now. Yeah, you can't use that name, or it's a name of a newspaper or whatever. Yeah, you've got to cover yourself there, because it's cost so much more to try and fix that later than just do it for 800 quid beforehand or whatever it is.
Definitely do it at the beginning. Don't put it right into the pre-production. Don't even shoot anything until you've done it. We're fine, touch wood, but that's been a learning experience.
Yes, totally, and obviously getting distribution for it as well. There, anything you learnt from negotiating those deals and what you had to do, and to make sure you were covered, and making sure that the company was getting, if anything comes back in, it's coming back to the right place.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're negotiating at the moment, and I won't say which companies, obviously, but we are talking about international sales, and I'm looking at contracts going, there's no performance clause in that. I'm not giving you my film for 10 years and you can distribute it and do absolutely nothing and just pay yourself your marketing costs. No. And it's having the confidence, just because these people, you think they're the Messiah, they're up here and, very powerful. And it's just having the confidence to go, nope, film's worth more than that. You're not having it. And we've done that a few times. We've looked at the contracts and gone, no, it's not working for us. And because they won't move, because they think you're going to yield because you're a small filmmaker, and, they probably looked you up in Company's House. Oh, she doesn't have any legal backing. It's fine. Just to say no, have that confidence to say no. That's more important. It deserves a proper chance. And the people who put money into it, and the cast and crew, they deserve the opportunity to get some money back from it.
Yeah,
they do. Yeah, and I think with those kind of contracts and territories that you sell, that other than the MG, you just really don't know how much you're ever going to get out the other side, because there are so many hidden expenses, and they just swallow things up. So you really do have to be careful and make sure whether you really trust the company, or you're getting enough money to make it worthwhile up front.
Another things to look at is the sales expenses. Always make sure you check that, and see if you can get a bankruptcy clause in there as well, and check all those hidden costs, and just be on top of it all. And take your time to read a load of other distributors' agreements. There are around there. There's Facebook groups with these on it.
Go on the Predatory Film Distributor and whatever Facebook group, which is it basically has a list of like all the sketchy ones, and like why you shouldn't go them, or at least be going with an sort of open
mind. And it's okay to go with any of these companies. Just know what you're getting into. Yeah, your film will come out on Amazon in America, but no one's going to see a penny, and that's okay if that's what you want.
Exactly.
But
who wants that, really? I mean, at the end of the day,
no. It's all that effort for it is. You might as well,
Amazon.
Amazon do.
They probably will.
But you might as well put it out yourself. You know what I mean? You might as well put it yourself on Amazon and self-distribute it.
Did say that to us. He said, but the most important thing is that people are seeing it. I went, well, no, the most important thing is that people are getting their money back. What?
He says that he's getting all the money.
Yes, exactly. He's getting money. It's fine. Fine. And independent filmmakers do not. So just be aware of this. It's a business for a reason. It's called the film business. So be aware of it and get on top of it. So it's great you're doing that, Karen. Absolutely fantastic. Sounds absolutely great. And I'm sure it'll get picked up and do well. Just like you say, fight for your corner and fight for it.
Thank you very much.
If you had any last bit of advice to offer younger versions of yourselves struggling in the horrible, challenging world of independent film, what might it be?
Apart from get a proper job.
Apart from that.
Don't do that one.
Yeah, because...
I would say to my younger self, be brave. Don't get intimidated by these people that you think know more than you, who are more superior than you, because at the end of the day, nobody really knows anything. And, you know, especially in this industry that's so volatile, that can change at a moment. Look at COVID, how it changed the curveball.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know the future. We can't predict how things are going to go. And people who say they can are generally lying. So just have that bravery and be a good person. Don't be an arse.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Big one, that. Yeah. Jane?
Something that I'm trying to do myself now would be to be careful where you put your energy.
Yeah.
In terms of different projects and people who drain your energies, because what I've found, you know, there's been lots of times where I've been, sorry, there's my dog barking in the background there.
Yeah, no, enjoyed that.
It's cute.
You know, just like focus your energy and just on the right things.
And the right people. Yeah.
Listen, this has been amazing. Karen Newman,
we really enjoyed this.
Jane Gull. Yeah, thank you so much. This chat has been brilliant. I've really enjoyed this. There's so much info for filmmakers. So, and you've made an incredible film. It really is. Love Without Walls is available now on Amazon. And where else?
Hold on a second. Let me read them out. It's on Rakuten TV, Sky Store, Prime Video, Virgin, Microsoft Video Plus, whatever that is, Google Play, and iTunes.
Woohoo! So you've got no excuses not to watch this. Listen, go support indie filmmakers. Go support indie films just like this one who've got off their arse and they've made it with blood, sweat and tears and made a brilliant film. Go support it and then go on iTunes and Amazon and give it a great review.
Yes, please.
It really makes a difference to indie filmmakers. People don't do it enough. So do go support with everything you touch or watch. Should I say touch? Didn't mean touch.
He did.
Everything you touch, you must
knew
review.
What he was
So listen, Jane Gull, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. So lovely.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Karen Newman, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You can go out there and make your indie film. You can make it happen. Believe in yourself. Find ways to raise the money. Find ways to find brilliant teams. Get them around you. Go out there, make your film. Work hard to get the best distribution you can. Learn about the film business, just as Karen and Jane have done, and release a fantastic film. And
use post-it notes.
And if you're lucky enough, I forgot what I was going to say. And if you're lucky enough to rise up and do well,
it's your duty to send the elevator back down.
We will see you next Tuesday, as always. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate your support, as always. Go out there and make your films. I want you to do it before next Tuesday, because that's when the next episode is. So until then, take care, everyone. Bye, girls. Bye, Dom.
Bye.
Bye.